This generation absolutely sucks. Absolutely. And I'll tell you why, and you're not going to believe this one. I didn't want to do it off the old camera because this may take a while. It's a long list of reasons why this generation sucks. I'm glad I'm alive now to see how good my generation was in the 80s and 90s. I'm glad to see that. What I mean is, like, if you think about all the things that people gravitate to nowadays, it's stuff from the 90s and 80s, and they would still like it now. There's very rare exceptions, but rarely does anything in the 2000s resonate with people now. It's been 20 years now in the 2000s, and hardly anything resonates now with younger people, period. If you think about it, I mean, like, let's just say 20 more years down the line in 2040. You think people are going to be hype to see Harry Potter in Smash? You think people are going to be hype, which can't happen because he's not a video game character. You think people are going to be hype to see, I don't know, I can't really think of any. There's some good games now, but there's nothing like the 90s stuff there to cherry pick from. I would, they can't in Smash Brothers, right? I was thinking about Smash Brothers, looking at Smash Brothers, and people getting hype and sick over the Sephiroth reveal, as they should. And I'm thinking, like, has no other Final Fantasy been that cool since that game? The answer is no. Like, 8 was cool, 9 was cool, 10 was cool, and everything else of that one was horrible. If you think about how lackluster and how underperforming those games are, if Yuna was in Final Fantasy or whatever, that'd be cool. But it'd be hard to put her in Smash because she's mainly a summon character, and she has like 13 summons. So, like, cherry picking, it would be very difficult to put Yuna in the game. If you put Titus in the game, you could put Titus in Smash, and that would be fine. If you put Titus in the game, you have to put Auron in the game because Titus and Auron are the same level of popularity from FFX. And for Final Fantasy 13, obviously Lightning, maybe Snow, but I don't know. Does anybody really care? But people love, but like, I guess teens such adults now don't know how cool Final Fantasy 7 was at the time. The reason why FF7 holds a strong place in everybody's heart is because at the time, I think it was 1996, PS1, not PS5, PS1. Um, Most people didn't know. This is a secret thing that I'm telling you right now. That only those that have lived through the thing would really know about that. I don't think Wikipedia knows about this kind of stuff. Not in detail, anyway. Um, you got to be around to know this kind of stuff. What happened was the PS1 released around the same time as the N64. Um, and Mario was taking over at that time. Mario 64 was taking over at that time. It was the first time that gamers got a really good 3D game. At that time, there was no really good 3D game. After Mario 64, then came like the Metal Gear Solids of the world, and then Tomb Raiders of the world, and of course Final Fantasy 7 of the world. I don't know which one started what, but I would say Mario got the okay for 3D games to be accepted in society. At that time, it was mainly 3D games on a 2D plane, which happens nowadays still, with like Crash Bandicoot and Duck Kong Country, that kind of stuff there. It still happens nowadays. Castlevania has that kind of stuff. But at the time, a 3D model game going around in the environments, this was like 4 or 5 years before GTA 3. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It was mainly 2D games, 2D plane games, or like a 3D plane looking thing, like Chrono Trigger, or a Zelda game, A Link to the Past. It wasn't really 3D, but like, flat surface kind of games. 3D stuff, they're going in and out of the foreground. That didn't happen. And CG definitely wasn't the thing back then. CG was way too expensive back then. CG was way too expensive back then. Way too much memory for a system. CG was unheard of for a system in 1996 until Final Fantasy VII. 3D games existed at that time. 3D games existed in Final Fantasy VII, like in era. Mario, Tomb Raider, etc. 3D games did happen at that time, but no other game, no other game, not even Metal Gear, had CG the way that Final Fantasy VII did. It was the first game at the time to introduce CG seamlessly integrated into a game. That was the first time. No one talks about that. That was the first time that have ever happened. 96, yeah, correct. I spoke about that in the earlier part of the video, so you can go back and watch that there. So 96, that was the first time any video game got CG, and it was a big freaking deal. No gamer ever saw CG in a game before. You can maybe say Killer Instinct in the arcade, but at a home console, you never saw that. Because arcades were different because they had more memory, they had more room to play with. But home consoles, you never saw that on the N64. You couldn't because the cartridge space was too small. And the PS1, they could do CG, but no one really knew it was going to come. No one, it was out of nowhere. And Final Fantasy VII had ads, it had commercials on TV shows because before the internet, obviously, um, TV shows didn't really show video game commercials at that time. The last time they went crazy for commercials, the networks did, was maybe Mario Brothers 3 back in the late 80s to 90s. Other than that, they stopped showing game commercials a lot. Maybe if you're related to Mario, like Yoshi's Island, or maybe a Donkey Kong Country, but rarely did you see commercials for video games, especially outside Nintendo at that time. So I remember me as an avid gamer in '96. I never saw any commercials outside Nintendo on TV. I didn't think about that when I was a teenager or whatever. I didn't think about that. But seeing a commercial for something outside Nintendo was a big deal. I mean, like, you never saw Metro commercials, you never saw Tomb Raider commercials. Maybe you did see a small Metal Gear Solid commercial after Final Fantasy VII, but you rarely saw that. And when the world, because everyone was watching TV at the time, there's no internet, everyone was watching TV. When the world saw Final Fantasy VII and the cool biking and the CG effects and the shaking the camera and Sephiroth and everything, it looked really, it looked really, really cool. I mean, like, holy shit. I don't think there was any gameplay in that trailer. Back in the day, it was like all CG in that thing. Making people think the game was all CG, that's a trick. The game before this that was unbelievable, that wasn't really strong, that I couldn't believe existed, was Dragon's Lair, which is going to be a movie in the future, in case you didn't know. And Dragon's Lair was all cartoon. It looked like a cartoon was a game. It was a game. Essentially, you choose your destiny, like up or down. It was very simple controls. You didn't really control anything, just the choices you make, but not the character. But Final Fantasy VII came out, and it was a big freaking deal. Final Fantasy VIII came out, and it was okay. 9 came out, it was okay. 10 came out. The reason why 10 was a big deal was because not only was on the PS2, PS2 was very hot at the time. It was the first game in that first Final Fantasy game on the PS2. That was a big deal in itself. But the game itself was actually very well done. Waka was a very memorable character in there. Yuna was memorable as well. But it didn't have the same kind of pop that FF7 did because FF7 was the game that blew everything up. Not only did it blew up CG, it blew up RPGs in general. Nobody was really talking about RPGs at that time, unless you're like a Dungeons and Dragons fan at the time. Nobody was really a fan of RPGs. Final Fantasy VII made RPGs cool. That's the main reason why Final Fantasy VII holds a special place in a lot of gamers' hearts. If you saw Cloud in Smash, you knew Sephiroth was coming. Maybe Tifa next, but I doubt it. If I were to say if the next character that comes in Smash from Final Fantasy VII, it won't be Lightning. It'll be Titus. Titus's moveset is like sword user slash soccer player, and that could be very interesting for the dynamic of the game. So Squall's cool too. If Squall's in the game, I don't think anybody else in the game. No one is as memorable as Zack. No, he's not as cool as no. Um, Squall being in the game would be cool because Squall was in the Kingdom Hearts, and people like this character in Kingdom Hearts. Sora is a long stretch because we all know Sora is owned by Disney. I was watching 5 reaction videos, and a lot of people were saying Sora. That's a possibility, but it's Disney. Disney's very selfish. Sora is basically a Disney character. If you play Kingdom Hearts 3, you know what I'm talking about. Kingdom Hearts is basically a Disney game. You rarely see any Square Enix characters in Kingdom Hearts. So there's no point in really worrying or hoping that you're going to see a Smash character a Smash character with a Sora in there. Only in your dreams, only in the fantasy. So if you look at like the future of like Smash Brothers per se, and the future of like holy shit moments, Lara Croft being in the game, that could be a holy pop moment. But guess what? She's PS1. Maybe Snake. Oh, that's right. He's already in Smash. He's PS1 as well. What are you gonna do? Put Master Chief in Smash Brothers? He's 2006 or 7. Xbox One. There's nothing currently now that gets people popping. You know what gets people popping nowadays? Mandalorian. You know what Mandalorian is? Star Wars. When did Star Wars come out? It wasn't for this generation. What's gonna happen in like 20 years from now? Twilight's gonna pop people. Oh my God, Twilight's in the game, or Twilight is on TV. Oh my God, Potter. Oh my God, Lord of the Rings is in the game. Get serious. Ben 10 is gonna be cool to put in the game in the future. What has Ben 10 done in the past? I don't know, 15 years since he's been around. That's been cool. Ben 10. I mean, he was cool for like a year, and that's it. You know what's cool right now? Rick and Morty. But you know what Rick and Morty is? Marty and Doc. Back to the Future, 1984. A more hyper version of them. Crazy inventor, scared little guy. Yeah, it's Marty and Doc. It's not new. It's not fresh for the new generation. Matrix Neo was fresh essentially for its time. A guy who was control of computer space, got that stuff there, fresh for the time. Batman's still cool, Spider-Man's still cool, Avengers still cool, but nothing new. I can talk about the Game Awards as well. I'll talk about that too. Why not? So the big reveals for today, I put on my channel already. The big reveals for today were the Star Wars stuff, the Disney Plus stuff, there, the Smash stuff, the Game Awards happened all today, all on the same freaking day. Like no breathing room. So like Doom Eternal. Okay, so I don't remember all the choices because there was 1 or 2 in there that I didn't know of. But Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal was there. Last of Us Part 2 was there. I think that's of note. That's it, really. I personally, I didn't play Doom Eternal yet. It looks like a good game. I'll play that eventually. But I play Ghosts. I play Last of Us. And they're both over violent games, just like Doom Eternal is. They're both, but I played Doom games before, but in fact, like the past 6 months, I played a Doom game, but I didn't play Doom Eternal yet. They won most of the awards. Holy shit! I did like Last of Us Part 2. Um, it's hard to not like the game because it did so many good things in there. The Abby and Ellie kind of crossover thing was really cool. I mean, you don't see stuff like that in games nowadays, where you're controlling two different storylines and they're all like they're going to interact with each other and surprise in the game as well. And the strong things about Joel, if you know what in the game, you know what I'm talking about. What happened with Joel? It was very different in its own way, but it felt familiar because the control scheme and shooting things and lobbing things at people and that was kind of cool. But the reason why I give Ghost of Tsushima the nod, the game of the year, that was new for this year. Persona 5 Royale was like probably the best game I played this year. When it comes to like money value, I mean like seriously, you will easily get 120 hours out of Persona 5 Royale. Easy 120 hours. Easy 120 out of Persona 5 Royale. That's if you follow a guide. Even if you follow a guide, you're gonna get mad hours out of the game. You got to know stuff to do. But but Ghost of Tsushima, uh, it's a very unique game for itself. Yes, it's a 3D action game per se, but the action elements in there are like very cool. The showdown move, you just slice like one hit kill, one hit kill, one hit kill. I never seen that in the game before. I never seen that in the game before. You have to like let go of the button to run. I'm like that. It feels right when that happens. And the way the enemies are when they're attacking you, you got to look at like their stance and everything. I'm like some good ass shit right here. And the way you survive and like when you die in the Ghost of Tsushima, and okay, bye. So like when you get killed or whatever, they stab you like for the final kill. You don't see that in games much, if ever. And the story, a very easy to follow storyline as well. That the old way versus the new way of samurai. So that was really cool. So um oh yeah, I did watch the Game Awards. Uh see that's a very loose answer I gave right there. Yes, I did see the Game Awards, but I didn't see all of it. See, I did what Trump would do. Trump would say, "Yeah, I did it," but he won't tell you the whole story of why. See, yeah, that's the truth. I saw it. I saw parts of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing because it bored the fuck out of me. That's the truth. There was some garbage looking kitty game in there. It was like a tech demo looking thing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. This is 2020, not 2000. I'll look at the highlights later on. And I did. I did. So yeah, I did see it, but I don't give a fuck about most of the content in that fucking Game Awards. They usually bore me to tears. I think it was Game Awards was like an hour today, or maybe 2 hours, or something like that. I don't know. I was playing Rayman Legends, and good game by the way. I didn't pay much for the game, but when I played the game, it actually put a smile on my face, which is rare for a game. Ghost of Tsushima made me smile, and Rayman Legends made me smile. When I play Neo and Neo 2, I feel different. I game mode, like I'm ready to go. But like Rayman Legends, it made me smile because there's levels in the game that like for boss characters or boss levels when your movements are tied to music, familiar music, like rock music and pop music. And I was like, this is really cool shit. Ironically, that Kingdom Hearts Melodies, or whatever it's called now, I played the demo. It's the exact same game. Your movements are tied to music. So whenever you move like left and right in the Kingdom Hearts game, it's tied to music, and the enemies you attack there is tied to music. And Rayman Legends in that 2D side-scrolling part, it was tied to music. I was like, this is really cool. Dun, 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 like jump, jump, hit, jump, jump, hit, jump, jump, hit. I was like, that's really cool. Oh my god, the levels in the game are kind of brutal though. I mean, like I know in Rayman Legends, like I played a lot of freaking difficult platforming games, like Super Meat Boy, and a game called N Plus back in the early 2000s per se. the unbeatable game, so like things like that. Um, so I know difficult games know why they work that way, and they got some parts in Rayman Legends that make me think like, what were they smoking? I beat Mega Man 11, and I had a good time playing Mega Man 11, and that was a hard game to most people, and it is a hard game to most people. I've in difficulty level for me, I'd say it was 8 out of 10. But like the Rayman Legends, they have like extreme challenges in the game against other players, which is really cool, like online only kind of stuff. So your platforming skills are tested against other people. I think it's really cool. I never would have thought that I never would have thought in a million years that this game Rayman Legends was so forward thinking to have a hard level to pit you against other players. There's challenges where you got to get things in a certain time and speed, and how far can you go before you die, and it's against other players, and you get rewarded for trophies for that, which is really cool. So back to the new versus the old stuff now. If you think about it, there's barely anything new that would constitute like really hype stuff. I mean, like in the past 20 years. I can't think anything really cool to set the world on fire because there's so much content. Whenever I talk to my friend Steve, well, how you doing, man? When I talk to my boy Steve, he has a lot of games, a lot of PS4 games and the PS3 games, PS2 games. But when we talk, it's weird sometimes because we go from one thing to another thing really quickly. We rarely sit there and talk a long time about one particular thing. He goes from one topic to another topic, and without letting anything sink in. And that's the problem nowadays with, in general, with people. People have too many easy answers for things. And if one thing doesn't work right, let's do something else. They don't really think of hard about how to get around something. It's very difficult nowadays when people more or less have ADD nowadays. One here, 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 one here. There's too much stuff. No concentration. And this stuff that so the song was talking about is a prime example of that one. Instead of giving us time and space to breathe for certain things, it's all at once. Mandalorian today, by the way. Speaking of ADD, I wouldn't know. I love today's episode of Mandalorian. Another good episode. Another good episode. I didn't see who directed it at the end. Maybe it was a nobody because it didn't feel like somebody special, like the Boba Fett episode. But it was a good episode nonetheless. There's too many things nowadays. There's too many things nowadays. And like with the movies being shut down the way they are and not going back to normal, like at least for another 6 or 8 months, something like that, it gives us as people time to think and appreciate how cool movie theaters are. Now, I didn't talk about this on my channel, but I went to the movie theaters 2 months ago in Jersey, and I felt it felt weird going down the halls of a movie theater again because I used to go so often to movie theaters, like I don't know, once every 2 weeks for the past I don't know 6 7 years, and for it to just stop. And I actually when I walked in the halls again after being banned from movie theaters for the past 7 8 months, since March or something of this year, felt weird in my body. Walking on those halls again, it felt like nostalgia hit me when it shouldn't, because I was so used to things, and like I almost got weak in my knees going on the halls to get to a movie theater. I thought it would never happen anytime soon because at that time I'd never been to a movie theater. Not never, but like trust me, super rare for me to go to a movie theater outside of New York. I went to one in Jersey maybe like 15 years ago with a friend of mine. This is the first time me going to a movie theater outside of New York City alone. but I had to do it because of a certain reason. It was in a mall. So like us not having something, me not having something for a long time, made me appreciate the way things were, and I can relate that to stuff happening nowadays. If they would have, I don't know why they had to do this alternate. They know Disney knows that Mandalorian comes on every Friday. Why do they decide to have their big conference the same day? That's really weird to me. Why not wait until either Mandalorian's over? That'd be a good idea. So you wouldn't conflict interest, or I don't know, wait until like middle of the week and do it there, so Mandalorian can shine when it's supposed to. Why the same day? Why create that conflict? Nintendo, Smash Brothers. They could have done this reveal on any time of the week. Nintendo Direct happens anytime. It happens on a Monday or a Tuesday, but anytime they feel like it. I don't know why it had to be today. We Game Awards to be nothing. So like next year, we'll start. Let's just say Cyberpunk is out now. 2077 is out already, and people are like meh on the game. So like maybe next year it wouldn't give me the year for no reason. But I don't know a lot of good games coming out next year. I saw the Game Awards. Some of the games, the new games, the Game Awards. It didn't look super special to me. It didn't look like wow. I'm like, okay, fine. But when I saw Spider Man for the first time, I was like, this is good ass shit. But when it comes to what we as people like, it's usually something really cool and groundbreaking and makes memories per se. How do you make memories when everything is just one good memory after another? How do you do that? How? It's impossible, right? How do you make good memories? It's possible. It's one of those questions you ask on the forum that everyone ignores. You go to a forum, you ask a hard question, everyone ignores it. You say something stupid, or you say something obvious, everyone comments. If you say something hard, they ignore it. So that's nowadays stuff. That's pretty much how it is when it comes to pretty much everything. You want to challenge someone, I don't want to be challenged. You want something nice and easy and fresh? Give them the Avengers. Give me some Marvel stuff. And I see that on Disney Plus. A lot of Marvel stuff is coming on Disney Plus next year. Hopefully, and they won't delay it again. WandaVision was supposed to come out already this year, and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out this year, but it didn't. And don't give me that whole COVID stuff there. It was supposed to come out this year. Production should have happened in 2019. It should have been over. So I'm sure they're probably done now. I guess I'll talk a little bit about HBO Max and the whole thing about their slate coming out in next year. And I wanted to wait a couple days to talk about this because people are pissed. Christopher Nolan's pissed, and several other people are pissed because they should be. Um, you don't get that big of a cut if you go on streaming services, but me and a friend of mine were talking about this also today, and he makes a good point. He looked it up himself, and I believe him because he's seen the truth before. Disney makes over $300 million per month with Disney Plus because of suckers. Disney makes a lot of money of Disney Plus. And what do they have on Disney Plus for people? The Simpsons? Okay. Mandalorian? Okay. Simpsons is on FX, so who cares? Why are so many people sub to the Disney network? Because it's safe for families, I guess. So HBO Max is the most expensive by them all by $15 versus like $7, double the price. For the first week, I had HBO Max like a free trial thing when it first came out. I was impressed by the lineup. I was impressed. The layout was very ugly looking, very basic, compared to like a Netflix. I don't know why they would do something like that. That's really weird to me. That they would have a network that expensive when it was hard to navigate. You shouldn't have that problem. Search bar with the on the triangle button. Search bar number one. Easy side tab. That's number two. A nice looking layout in the background. That's number three. Separating the folders, easy folders, is number four. So like action and adventure go in one folder, and inside the other folder, action here, adventure here. Simple. Romance goes here, comedies go here, animation goes here. It should be on the main screen where you got to go. Should be very simple to go, but it wasn't like that. I was scrolling down, 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 down. I'm like, what idiot made this layout? Simple and effective is the way to go. So I'm like, nah, I'm not messing with that. I'm not messing with that. So back on to other stuff there that people love now that was back in the 90s or 80s. Saved by the Bell has a new show out now. And the Maniacs has a new show now. Fuller House. Where do you think that came from? Exactly. The Fresh Prince documentary. Where'd that come from? People talking about that like crazy. Went to Twitter. I was like, oh, cool. And you know what? Got the old phone here. What's trending now? Let me see what kind of cool things are trending. Anything new or something rather something older? Let's check it out. Yakuza 2000, 2002, 2001. I know what the R. NJPW. Bill Burr, Greta Thunberg, T'Challa, Scott Pilgrim. That's 2002, 2003. That's not new. I don't know why it's trending. And some sports guy. Anything else? T'Challa, Game Awards, politics. Yeah, real exciting now. Real exciting now for people nowadays. You have a lot of new cool things, guys, in 2020. You have a lot of new cool things now. Man, really. Like when I was a teenager in the 90s, I was not a big fan myself of like the turtles coming back. Like there was a new Turtles thing coming out and another new Turtles, another Transformers came out. I'm like, I didn't give a at that time. I didn't care. I was like, oh, great, another one. I like the classic ones were really good, but like, give me a I want an Autobots pin or Decepticon pin. How come they didn't make those? That seems obvious. Autobots pin or Decepticon pin or a hat. They made a hat. They made a hat, but they didn't do a pin. I'm gonna show one of these off. So that on my shit? No, that's not on my shit. I have some cool pins that I like to collect. I wear them, obviously. I'm not going to collect a collector like that. But I have some cool pins here that I like to wear every now and then when I go out or whatever and show people off there. See, I like to wear pins for two reasons. Number one, to represent stuff I like. And number two, to catch people to see whether or not they have a good eye. If they have a good eye, we can talk about some stuff. So, like, here we go with my pin collection. Okay, so Nintendo World stuff over here. Nintendo World stuff right here. That's old stuff there. People like Mario nowadays. People like Pokemon nowadays. People like Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays. And guess what? They're not new. They're not new. If they're 20 plus years old, they're not new. One Piece, that's not new. Naruto, that's not new. That's 2001. That's close enough to 220 years. That's not new. Death Note, that's kind of new, I guess. Yeah. Oh, here's some classic ones I just got. Let me see here. Spy versus Spy from Mad TV. This one is very obscure. Only people that were kids in the 90s would know this particular one. And this is Vicky, the robot from Small Wonder. One of my first TV shows I ever looked at. And people are definitely still in the Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! In a little bit there. This is from the mid-90s. Inspector Gadget. I'm always on duty. And Mega Man, the classic Mega Man that's on my jacket right now. Classic Mega Man, the one from the first Mega Man, not fat bad box art one, but the one everyone likes, and the Rock Man, whatever you want to call him, the one everyone knows. He's like he's doing his guts pose like that one. He's doing his pose like that. I was like, I'm getting that shit. I have some Kingdom Hearts pins. I have some Kingdom Hearts pins as well, and some Trails of Cold Steel ones, and a Dumpster Fire 2020 pin. So that's the main ones I have right there. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely not dead. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely not dead. I see the numbers. It's not dead. It's you know how I know it's not dead? Not only because of the movie shit that happened. There was a movie that came out 2 years ago that did big numbers. It looked really good, by the way. In case you don't know about like Yu-Gi-Oh! And like what it's been doing since then, it's been doing some good stuff there. Not only is Yu-Gi-Oh! Still alive, they're still on the air. It's still that big. They have new rules too. Simple rules, rush duels. The newest one's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush. I actually watched that series because it's kind of funny that they take jabs at the older version of the Yu-Gi-Oh! And little inside jokes, and I like that kind of stuff there. For Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans, there's some inside jokes there, and the way things are, they make fun of coronavirus, and they make fun of certain food products that are out there. I'm like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's definitely not dead. Definitely not dead. You know what is dead? Death Note. That is dead. Death Note is niche, but niche and cool, but it's definitely dead. Uh, let's say Marvel and Death Note are about the same thing. You know, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that's about the same thing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely not dead. I see the numbers. Not only is the new series out there, they still got new packs. They got movies out. They got tournaments out there. And not only just the tournaments, they got tournaments with the actors recreating the scenes. It's not dead at all. You see, Pokemon doesn't have that kind of luxury. Pokemon's card game, I have no idea if that exists. I have no idea. Pokemon's card value is high. I see that. I see that pop up. I do not know if they have a tournament. They still have series. That's good. They still have series. That's good. I'm not sure if they have movies. They probably do. But Pokemon's not dead and Yu-Gi-Oh's not dead. Definitely not. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, card captors dead. Digimon dead. You know what's ironic? Yu Yu Hakusho, I would say, is dead, but I keep seeing popular people with Yu Yu Hakusho shirts on. I'm not kidding. People want to talk about Naruto this, Naruto that there. I rarely see anybody with Naruto like scrolls or whatever hanging in the background, or Naruto shirt or a headband, and I barely see anybody talking about Naruto anymore. I'm happy about that because I don't like Naruto, but I barely see anybody wearing that. I'll see popular celebrities, not only with Dragon Ball shirts, but Dragon Ball tattoos. I'll see popular people with Yu Yu Hakusho stuff, or Assassination in the Classroom with the yellow tentacle monster teacher. I'll see that on there. That's a good show. That's good. I won't see Naruto. I will see Death Note on people, but I won't. I will not see Naruto. I will see Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe in the background, but it's rare. But I'll definitely see Yu Yu Hakusho. I see more Yu Yu Hakusho than anything else that's niche or whatever. But yeah, it's Yu Yu Hakusho's good there. I don't blame them for not wearing or finding Hokuto no Ken. This is North Star. I don't blame them for that. I don't blame them for that. That's a little bit too niche. even though it's fucking glorious, but it's too niche, I think. Okay, let me take a look at the comments. Uh, After GX, oh my god. I don't blame you for stopping. I do not blame you for stopping at GX. My dude, I went back this year to watch GX for the very first time. Is it? How? The last cool thing that Hokuto no Ken Fist North Star did was have that crazy arcade game back in the mid 2000s that Toki was the master of. One hit kills you, you dead. It was the last thing that happened with Fist North Star in America anyway. I never heard anything popping with Fist North Star since then. I never heard it, but if you know anything about that, I'm all in because I like the stuff. I like that kind of stuff. So anyway, it hurt me. It hurt me to keep watching GX. I watched the Japanese version so I could look the whole story and everything, the crazy cut American version dub. Yeah, I can talk about dub versus sub in a second as well. I'll talk about that too. I never get a chance to talk about that with dub versus sub. But GX was hard to watch now anyway because Jaden rarely, if ever, lost. I get that people like winners. I get that part. But damn, it's so predictable when you see him fight anybody that's not like a big bad in the series. Jaden will usually win or draw at the worst. They were so afraid to make him lose. In the original series, Yami did lose. Yugi did lose. And it made them more realistic, made them more personable. But Jaden, he's like, get your game on. And I'm like, if you went like a big secret bad character, you ain't. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Jaden's OP. I didn't like seeing him. I did not like seeing his battles. It's like that kid nowadays and Yu-Gi-Oh Rush. Go Rush. Yeah, so it's like the kid nowadays. That kid never loses, and I hate watching that show for that reason. I skip his battles. That personally for me to you, I skip his battles unless against a big bad. We could potentially lose. If you're not a big bad, that kid Yuga, I think his name is. Yeah, he's winning. He's winning. I like unpredictability, and that kid never loses. And I'm getting Jaden vibes. I hate it. I don't like watching his battles. Anybody else, I'll watch the battles of, but I won't watch his. I'll skip to the end or whatever, but I won't watch his battles. Yeah, but Yu-Gi-Oh is still a thing. Detective Conan is still popular in Japan. The Kid Detective, that's still popular in Japan. One Piece still popular. One, of course, there. Boruto's popular. That kind of stuff there. So I think that's stuff for people. Oh, pure plot armor. Pure plot armor, for sure. Also, in Mandalorian today, I don't want to spoil anything, but once again, they did the thing. The thing is almost dead, and then you survive. Did the thing. They've been doing that every episode. It's like a trope. It is a trope. Like almost every episode, Mandalorian or whatever's in trouble, Baby Yoda's in trouble. Grogu is in trouble, and somebody saves him at the last second. Same thing happened in this episode too. Good episode, but they did the thing, And GX was. I will never go back to GX. It was no. Maybe like a certain battle or whatever, but I will not. I'm pretty much done with GX. I didn't want to watch Arc V. I didn't want to watch Drains. I didn't want to watch any of that stuff because GX just turned me off. If you're gonna make the winner, the protagonist always win, too predictable. I don't want to see it anymore. Unless you like the big bad, I don't want to see it. I still have my cards from back in the day behind the Spider-Man box. It's in a black box that you can't see, but it's all in the plastic. But I don't think they're worth anything because they're all like 2002, 2003, maybe 2001 cards like Raigeki, Pot of Greed, Injection Fairy Lily, that kind of stuff. There, nothing modern. I don't know if they're worth anything. I don't know. Maybe they are. So like Pokemon sells tournaments and movies, it's just very watered down now. You know what's cool about Pokemon that most people aren't talking about is that new Pokemon. I think it's called Black and White. I think it's called Black and White. But I'm watching the Japanese version, at least a little bit of Japanese version. But the animation is so good, man. The animation is fucking smooth as water. What the no? Did they give? I'm not thinking. Did they give all the animation budget to Pokemon and made everything else so lackluster? I mean, Pokemon's animation was so good looking, especially during the Pokemon battles. I'm like watching a damn movie. It's so good looking. You have no idea. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the main thing. That's the main draw of the new Pokemon. The animation's so super clean, man. Another little nice little I know he looks younger now than he did back in cartoons. Like Luffy will literally eat an entire table. It'll go in his stomach. Next scene, he's slim again. The power of animation. Um, but with Pokemon, with Pokemon and Ash, um, I like how the series keeps on. They keep on going forward, but they keep on having Team Rocket in there. But they got rid of the trope of a Team Rocket blasting up again. That's gone. And when I was talking about the action sequences in Pokemon, I believe most of the animation, the anime, is done by Toei Studios. Toei Studios not only does Pokemon, I believe, and One Piece and Dragon Ball. Ooh, oh, trifecta right there. But they also do Power Rangers, Super Sentai. I would show it on my channel again, but no one really cares to look at it. But holy shit. Wow. I love action sequences that are really cool looking, and I'm blown away. But I'm like, oh my fucking god! I can't even describe it. I could not even believe action like that exists. It was ridiculous. I can't describe it. It's I, they do like GoPro looking shots kind of thing sometimes, but like the way they use it with the combination with like green screen along with like sparkly effects, camera tracking, and like particles in the air constantly moving with certain characters here, floating over the. I blown away, blown the fuck away. I'm like, this is so cool. I don't even know if Americans gonna have that. It's for the newest one, Kid Major, the crystal ones. I'm blown away. I was blown away. It was a scene in which Red Ranger needed to get something from the past to help somebody in the present, and he went back in time. The person in the past was too powerful for him to fight alone, so she was having her tea and she got pissed off, and Red was fighting against her, and it was one hell of a battle. It was like 3 minutes or something like that in the show to runtime, but like it was filled with a lot of good stuff. There was a 10-second sequence that blew my fucking mind. It started with like in Lupin v Pat, the season 2 seasons ago, and it was like that was really cool stuff. But this one was really good too. I mean, like it was like tracking two people at once. I was like, what the? It was she's not like a main bad guy, but at the time for that episode, she was super secret kind of bad guy, and they gave her like a lot of cool moments and lines, and like she could be a big character in the future. So they gave her like the big bad feeling, like whoa! I was like, boom, 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 clang, clang, sword attacks, projectiles, flipping over things, they're flipping over tables, ducking attacks her, dodging, kicked her, rolling backwards. The camera, I'm like, oh my fucking god! It blew my mind. I was like, wow. When I was a director back in college, I never could think of like I was an action director and choreographer, and I was like, this is above my pay grade. I'm like, I don't know how they did that in one take. There's no cuts, no one take. I was blown away, blown away. So much love and care. Let's go back to the comments. Pokemon. Okay. Ba, ba, ba. It's the savior of gaming behavior. Dragon Ball Z will stand the test of time. Oh, you have no fucking idea. They were. I know about the Morok. I know about the Morok, but like they were planting some seeds in the early 2000s with the whole Vegeta has a brother thing, and since that did well, they kept on going more and more. And then they did Kai, that did well, so they kept going and going again. Super did well, they're going to keep going. But what's taking them so long? Moro. When that arc ends, they'll do Moro. They'll put Moro on TV. I don't know what they're going to call it. Dragon Ball M for Moro. I don't know what they're going to call it. But yeah, when the Moro arc is over, it's not over yet. But like when it's over, they'll do Moro, but it'll take time for the animation to be done correctly. They could realistically be done with the first few episodes now, but I guess not to create conflict. They keep the anime off TV for Moro now, and they wait till Moro's over, and then they'll put it on TV again because they learned their lesson with Super. They need manga to work off of, so they learned their lesson. So they're not going to do that again. One Piece is still good because they work up the manga, and a lot of people noticing that they did the Conan books of the manga as well. Naruto did, so it works up the manga well. Super was kind of sloppy and slow in places, so they need to work up the manga because the manga gets time to work on things. Manga comes out there more or less there every month, and animes come out every week. So it's a different time schedule. When you got a month to work and figure out certain storyboards and ideas, it's a lot easier to make your mangas pop and be cool. We have to pump out 20 minutes every week, and you don't know what your source is from, and it's gonna be new and fresh because you're ahead of the manga. It's hard, so you have to wait till the manga's like pretty much done. I don't know what's taking Hashimi no Ippo so long, but anyway. Ah, was he in Jump Force? Yeah, he was in Jump Force. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, he is not in Second Seven. No, 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 no. That makes zero sense. No, no. I would believe Akuma because he's a game character. I would believe Geese, he's a game character. But Kenshiro's not a game. He's an anime character. He's anime first, then a game character. That's why you're not going to see him in fucking Smash Brothers. Game characters only. I don't know why they do that kind of stuff there, but I would believe Kenshiro to be in Mortal Kombat before Tekken 7. No, but I know I'm contradicting myself. Um, I played only the first one, the Treasure Cold Steel. Um, uh, I'm contradicting myself because Negan from Walking Dead is in Tekken. That made zero sense to me. He's not a game character. He's a more or less he's a comic character, and then he goes into TV. So like, he's still not a game character. So that didn't make sense to me at all. So like, logic wise, so if Negan can be in the game, I understand Roxas being in the game. Not Roxas, but the Final Fantasy 15 guy. I forget his name. Um, if he's in the game because he's a game character, he's from Final Fantasy. He's a game character. So I get that part. But Negan, what? Why? How? That kind of stuff. I'm like, what? So like, yeah, I didn't understand how they got the rights to that kind of stuff, or why they break their tradition doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, because if you think about Soul Calibur, Zelda, he's a game character. So Link is a game character. He was in Soul Calibur. Spawn, not so much. Bayachi, he's a game character. So it makes sense in Soul Calibur. So I guess with Tekken they can break the rules, but as far as I see with Smash, no, 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 no. They're not breaking the rules. They've been around since the N64 era. The N64. So they've only been game characters. They've only been game characters. If your origin is a game, you can be in Smash Brothers. So that's why Snake is there. That's why Sonic is there. That's why Pac-Man's in there. Yeah. So yeah, if you're a game character, you can be in Smash. That's why Sora could be in the game because it doesn't break that rule. But Disney, eh. And his moveset, Sora is more like a boss character than an actual playable character. If you're gonna give people control of Sora and has to be correct to the source material, broken, broken. Sora can slow down time, speed himself up, use projectiles, kill the screen with stuff. He's unfair. He's imbalanced with the game. He's imbalanced. He's like Gil. Gil on Third Strike. He's he's too much. He's too much. Uh, yeah, the suicide Kaiba moment that lives forever in Yu-Gi-Oh fandom right there. In Yu-Gi-Oh GX they never did anything quite like that one. On the verge of death against that the guy with the white suits, the crazy hair, or whatever. The guy who could control like his destiny. That guy, verge of death. But then the guy got saved anyway. So like yeah. But that was fucked up what Kaiba did though. At that time, like make me win. Like no, either you lose or I die. That's messed up. What Kaiba did right there, that was a good setting point. That was a good pace. If they go that far, I like where this is going. Let me see here. Jaden was part. Yeah, he was part armor. Yeah, for sure. Didn't bother with that guy. Like him and that girl or whatever. I forget her name in the show, but like yeah, like I forget most of the people's names in the show. Honestly, it's been like 8 months now since I've seen GX. But yeah, I forget most of the characters' names. That's how little I remember them. I remember Joey Junhochi, the Japanese version, Taya and Anzu, same person. I think Mai is Mai in both versions. Pegasus both versions. Kaiba's Kaiba both versions. But like I remember their names, but I don't remember any of the Japanese names of GX characters. I don't remember them. Manzome for Chaz, I believe his name is, which makes sense in the Japanese version. Speaking of which, a dub versus sub. A friend of mine was asking me, "Do you like dub or sub?" I'm like, because I've been watching anime for a long time, I know the positives of watching sub. There's a lot more positives of watching sub than dub. I know the dub reason why people watch it because they can watch their faces and everything like that. But if you think about watching anime like that, if you look at it carefully, when they talk, they barely emote any emotion out of their eyes or their face in general, so you can read the subtitles without any kind of problem or missing anything. You learn to read faster by watching subtitles, by the way. In addition to the subtitle version, it being more authentic to what they're actually talking about. The dub version, you get what they assume what they're saying or what they think that we want to hear. The subtitle version is what they say, and the subtitle version will tell you exactly what's going on when it comes to like foreign stuff. When it usually in dub they ignore foreign situations because they assume Americans don't want to hear that kind of stuff. But in the Japanese version, they talk about that kind of stuff, especially in Killer Classroom with the tentacle monster. There's an English teacher. I think her name is Miss Son of a Bitch, some shit like that. And she's an English teacher in the I think both versions, but she teaches actual English to Japanese people in the Japanese version because she speaks English and the class speaks English in the American version. It doesn't really have that same kind of punch to it, you know. And the thing she writes on the board, it's translated in the subtitle version. In the American version, the Japanese is there on the board, but because it's dubbed, they don't bother with subtitles at the bottom because they assume you don't want to read. That's why you're watching the dubbed version. So the subtitle version will have translations for kanji and hiragana, katakana, but the dub version won't. So you get more out of the subtitle version, especially with that new one, Rent a Girlfriend. Rent a Girlfriend has something very Deadpool like, in which the anime has speech bubbles for like when things are going hectic. There's speech bubbles. So when things are going bad or like hectic, it's in Japanese only on the screen. The dub version does not translate that at all. The dub version, it's typical because the dub version, because what they're saying in there is what they're saying in the Japanese version. That is true. But they don't bother translating the stuff around them. The care, despair. They're like, oh my god, what did I do? Oh my god, where did I go wrong? Like in the Switch levels, they don't translate that in the dub version. The sub version, it's all there, so you get the full grasp of what's happening in the situation in the sub version. So if you want to know the full thing, sub version. That's all goes. That's all goes. Um, I did see a trailer for the new Evil Dead game. Speaking of Ash, I was like, Friday the 13th was popular, so why not do Evil Dead? Why not? Bring back more 80s stuff for people to play in 2020. 21, yeah. Bring back more old stuff. Why not? Evil Dead, why not? What's next? What's next? Nightmare on Elm Street? You think there's gonna be you think there's gonna be a Conjuring game soon for the new kids? A Nun game? Annabelle for the kids? What's more likely to happen? A Child's Play game, or what's that fucking movie? Because of the D, people like Distortion, Destination, Hereditary. There we go, Hereditary. About that kid that killed himself, like looking out the window, or whatever. Let's fuck the movie, by the way. But like, yeah, no. Friday the 13th, yeah. You would like an Annabelle game? It probably wouldn't be that long. It could be spooky. I would put it in first person. I would put it in first person. But like the Halo games, killer dolls every now and then. It could work, but like I don't see it being popular. Uh, if you're gonna put an Annabelle game in there, why not put what's that game? Brom. Yeah, Brom's the Boys or something like that. I think it's a full time, but Brom. It's about a doll. It's about a boy doll this time that commits murders in secret ways. So the first one had a big reveal for the Brom character. I'm not going to tell you what happens or why, but part two was more subtly low key for a reason. We watched part one, part two connects to part one. So yeah, but Brahms, yeah, Brahms. I think it's Brahms the Boys or whatever. But yeah, uh, I want to see more of the movies, but I don't think a game would do well for that stuff. Friday the 13th, the game, yeah, of course. Got to take from the 80s because nothing new nowadays. I mean, like Annabelle, more or less, is pretty popular, more or less. But not Ouija, not that movie Ouija, not Cloverfield. Yeah, not Conjuring, not Nun. Nothing's popular nowadays when it comes to like horror stuff. There, Saw is. Saw needs to get their shit back together. Saw had a good run. There's like six Saw movies. Saw had a good run, but and I know people would still recognize the character even now. I'll definitely say that one. They would definitely recognize Jigsaw now, but like in general, no. I was talking with another friend of mine about what holiday movies that are there for millennials, and I'm like, I can't think of any. I really can't. Name the most popular Christmas or Thanksgiving movie now for millennials. Millennials have Valentine's Day with the 50 Shades of Grey. They got that one. That's for sure. They got that one. But I can't think of anything. Independence Day, that was 90s. Will Smith. So July 4th, you think Independence Day, you think that movie. But millennials don't have something like that for them now. They don't have that. Um, but I can't think of any. I can't think of any good Thanksgiving movies for them, or Christmas movies, or even like a decent horror. You think about it. So you're thinking about, oh, it is popular with the kids nowadays. It is 1980s. It is old. It is not new or made for you. It is an IP from the 80s. Saved by the Bell is an IP from the 90s. Well, 80s, the original one, don't go on Wikipedia. Don't do that. Don't do that. Simpsons, the most popular thing now from the 80s. Now it's The Simpsons. Any Tyler Perry holiday movie. I know you're joking. I'm like, here's a little golf clap for you. Here's a golf clap for you. You can have that one, buddy. You can have that right there, right there, right there. Enjoy your Tyler Perry movie, baby. But like, yeah, no way. um, Saved by the Bell was a new IP for the 90s/80s, and it's still popular now. Uh, Full House was like 90s. Like I'm sure Hollywood's like, what else can we cherry pick from the 90s? It's like 90s/80s. What can they cherry pick from them? I have no fucking idea. Um, they already got TMNT. That's 80s. That's 80s franchise. Um, excuse you. But like, Britney Spears is like gone. She's gone. They're still doing Power Rangers now. Yeah, they're still doing Power Rangers now. Super Sentai. They're still doing that one, but it's not nearly as popular for obvious reasons now. Okay, so like you were 4 when Power Rangers first came out. You may not remember everything because you were 4. I think I was a teenager at the time, and I remember the craze. I remember seeing on TV Guide at the time, seeing a not non Sesame Streets, seeing a martial arts slash kids show on TV Guide was a big deal. I think it blew my mind back then, and like that's when I knew it was huge when you're on the cover of TV Guide. Um, but the Power Rangers craze, no one really understands. I think you were 4 at the time, so I don't think you know because I was a teenager at the time, so I can feel it. I can remember and feel it because Power Rangers was made for teenagers like myself at the time because they were a group of teenagers, or they save the world or whatever. So it's made for me per se at the time, and I didn't really relate to the characters per se. Like I didn't have Bullied and Bulk and Skull. I didn't have that one, but the main attraction to me for Power Rangers was the theme song, obviously, and Kimberly, obviously, right there again. And something was cool. The putty sound effect, the putty sound effects, that was really cool. Rita Repulsa. That's enough right there. I said before in another video, one reason alone is enough to get me to watch any show. That had over 5. That was good. That was it right there. I was fan for life right there. Fan for life. Yeah. Too many things. Too many things. Too many things for Power Rangers. And the new ones don't really have the new ones. They're in the new one in Kiddo Major. I'll be honest. I watched for the Pink Ranger, the doctor. She's hella cute to me. The green one's not that bad. She's pretty cute, but like the pink one's definitely erect here. I'll put it that way. And I like the idea of him drawing, and then what he draws comes to life. And then it's a cool concept. So, yeah, I like that idea. The main trope, the Green Ranger was the shit. The Green Ranger was the shit though. Dun, 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 dun. The Power Rangers fighting game. It's a good one. Power Ranger Battle for the Grid. Yeah, Battle for the Grid. That's pretty popular. It's still popular now. They actually got fucking the guy who played Virgil and Devil May Cry and Marvel's Capcom 3 to do the voice of his original character as the Quantum Ranger. I'm like, oh my god, they got some good shit in that game. Some good ass weird combos, yo. The costumes were cool. Yeah, exactly. I don't blame you for it not hitting with you anymore. They don't do a good job promoting it, and it's extra hokey nowadays. It's extra hokey nowadays. It's RPM was the last one. RPM Getting Gear. That was the last one to take the show kind of seriously. And ironically, RPM was based off of Engine Sentai Go Onger. Go Onger almost really closely made me quit watching Super Sentai in general. It was so it was so over the top. It was so over the top kitty. Almost couldn't take it anymore. I almost couldn't take it. With engines with eyes and talks to you, the cars that fucking talk to you and everything. Like no, it's no. I'm good, bro. Almost left. If the next season after that one wasn't good, I would be out. But lucky for them, it was good. Shin Kenji was after Go Onger, so I'm like, all right, we're back. All right, we're cool. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you got me. And after Shin Kenji was the one about the angels. That was really cool. That was a cool concept. And the intro of that one was really good. And that's in my fucking that's in my shit there. I can't play it because I remember doing something on my channel and I played Power Ranger themes and it got blocked immediately. The whole video got blocked just for playing that particular song. So I can't do that here. No favorites? Okay, anyway. Let me go back to my shit because I don't like looking like that. There we go. Tough boy, tough boy. Super Sentai stuff. Simple McLean, Shin Kenjer's here. Space Soccer. Tailspin's in here. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, we get Tailspin. Oh, we go Tailspin. Um, there's a couple of tracks from my phone right there. No, not that one. Oh, yeah, Yakuza, You're the Best Around from Karate Kid 1. Yu Hakusho's theme. Yeah, I'll play a little bit for you. Is this enough of that? I can't get you the whole thing. Some WWE themes. So people know I watch WWE, but people don't know what kind of songs I really like. Let's see if you can. You know that one. We're gonna be friends. Nobody knows that one. If you know this one, oh Emma, yeah, that's right. Okay, you're a mod now. Okay. The other one, the second one I played, was Cesaro's first theme. God damn, you got it. That's it. Now you're a mod. Okay, no. Okay, I can't think of it anymore. You're a mod now. Okay, add moderator. There you go. You're now a moderator. There you go. I'm a simple man. For no reason. I may take it away because people get kind of weirded out by a whole bunch of mods. I get weirded out by that one. See a whole bunch of mods, so I may take it away, but it doesn't matter anyway. Just for now, you're a mod. Everyone knows the next one. I'm not going to play that one. Everyone knows then the one after that one. Everyone still knows the one because it's still a thing. Okay, you get this one. I don't know. I don't know. You may have to be a mod forever if you get this one. No, you're the. Got that one? Oh my god. Here's one after that one. Another one I like. I won't play too much of that one because That was not Nexus. That was Tyson Kids. The one I just played now. That's not Core. Core had a horrible theme. Evil Gold Dust. Oh, such good shit back then. And yes, Kane's on here too, but everyone knows Kane. But holy shit, yeah. So I have some WWE things in there that I listen to every now and then. But yeah, definitely some good tracks in here. Most of the tracks in here like have automatic good shit in there, like this one. Star Starred. Oh my god, you bring me back right there. You bring me back right there. I remember when Cody got off of the circuits, out of prison, the WWE, and he was going on tour, and people were making fun of the Stardust thing. They were doing this with him, they were like doing that, and Cody got pissed. See, whenever anybody would do this to him, he got pissed. He got legit pissed, as if he didn't know what was coming. I would bet that no one in AEW can ever mention Stardust. I would bet that in my core. I would bet that. And lol, for anybody that got this week on AEW, they mentioned that Dustin Rhodes, Cody's brother's number in the Dark Order will be 7. I don't think anybody got that except for Tony Schiavone. The reason why, okay, you know why? Before I say anything, you know why that was an inside joke for Dustin? I won't say anything yet. Turn that off right there. Yeah, Zeus is dead. Yeah, that's a rest in peace right there. Yeah, I love Debo. Good guy. I'll then look at that one later. Persona 4 Strikers is on stream on Steam, but not on PS4 yet. In America, anyway. Okay, so the thing with Seven is one of Dustin's alter egos. I believe Dustin had 5 alter egos, and a god. One of them was called Seven. The Ascension. I'm not surprised at all that they're doing nothing. Not surprised at all. They did nothing. They're not even UWN / NWA. They're not even there. They were coasting by in WWE. They just were content with doing nothing, and he's gone. Titus O'Neil, if he left WWE, you think he would go on the Indies and find himself and get stronger and better? Of course he wouldn't. He's content doing nothing. So yeah. World Slade. Yeah. Yeah, that was good shit back in the day. They tried to milk it the next week on Raw, or the next day or whatever on Raw. I'm like, this fucking company. I'm glad they don't have Adam Pearce doing the Drew McIntyre thing. At least they got rid of that room real quick. So like Titus World Slide, that was really awkward. They tried to keep doing that thing over and over again as it was an angle in the first place. I'm like, so they were searching for something to get Titus over, and it was an accident. Titus World Slide. Get be fucking kidding me. Yeah, all right. I got to get the workarounds. Okay, yeah, all right. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need some rest before I go to work because I don't know how long I'm gonna be out there. Honestly, new job. Okay, so I'll leave the stream for now. Thank you very much for watching. That's it for now. Clack off.